This is KGW News at noon.
An emotional court appearance for the woman accused of killing her brother and injuring two other relatives earlier this month. A day after a grand jury indictment, Tamina Strickland is charged with the murder in the death of 22-year-old Deontay Strickland. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Brenda Braxton. Family filled the courtroom for the arraignment this morning. KGW's Tim Gordon was there too. And Tim, the defense attorney described the Strickland family as confused.
Right, Brenda, confused about why this happened. He says at this point he doesn't see an obvious reason for the violence that sent a family into turmoil. This is Tamina Strickland in court this morning. She stood quietly as her attorney entered a not guilty plea for her. The grand jury returned an indictment that blames the 30-year-old woman for the shooting death of her younger brother, Deontay, at a home in Northeast Portland. The indictment also says Strickland shot and injured two others in the home, reportedly a 67-year-old grandmother and a 25-year-old cousin. Both women survived. Deontay's death is affecting a lot of people at Portland State University, where he was a two-sport athlete. He played basketball there and was signed up to play football this fall. He was going for his master's degree and was known for his big, positive personality. What really hasn't come out yet is why the shooting happened. Tamina Strickland's attorney says he's not aware of friction in the family. He described this as a horrible tragedy.
You saw, the courtroom full of family supportive of both Tamina and Deontay. So families going through, hey, we tragically lost a son, a brother, a nephew, a cousin, but also, a daughter, a niece, a cousin is in custody for killing him. So they're in, two different things, kind of tragic looking at it. And so I want to be sure that we're cognizant of that and respectful of that.
Tamina Strickland faces 14 counts. The most serious, obviously, the murder charge that could get her 25 to life in prison. Strickland remains in jail with no bail set for now. Her next court date, September 23rd. Brenda?
Thank you, Tim. Portland police say they need your help. They're looking for a man wanted in connection with a protest in downtown Portland. This is 35-year-old Joseph Evans. Police say he's wanted for second-degree assault during the protest on June 29th. Police didn't give any further details. Evans is 5'8", 150 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. He has several tattoos on his arms, chest, neck, legs, and abdomen. If you've seen him, call Portland Police. We're following several developing stories this afternoon. First, we're hoping to learn some more about a suspicious death investigation in the Mount Hood National Forest. Yesterday morning, someone called 911 to report finding the bodies of a man and woman off a forest road about 15 miles east of Estacada. Deputies still don't know how the two died. They also found a dog that was alive and unhurt. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office says anyone with information should give them a call. A man who'd been missing for 2 days was found dead at the Oregon Zoo. 62-year-old Carl Ross Sr. was found in the rhino exhibit yesterday. That area is under construction and currently is not housing any animals. It's still unclear how Ross died. There's been another drowning in a local river. Dive teams recovered the body of a 15-year-old swimmer at Oxbow Park in Gresham yesterday evening. It took rescue crews about 4 hours to locate the teen. Late last month, an 8-year-old drowned in the same area of the Sandy River. Right now, we have an update from investigators looking into the death of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. The Justice Department says 2 guards assigned to watch him in his jail cell are now on administrative leave, and the warden at the prison has been reassigned. NBC's Craig Boswell is on Capitol Hill with more.
The federal jail in New York, where 66-year-old accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein apparently hanged himself Saturday morning, is under intense scrutiny.
We are now learning of serious irregularities at this facility that are deeply concerning.
As the Attorney General vows to get to the bottom of Epstein's death, lawmakers question the termination of Epstein's suicide watch. It's among many questions outlined in a letter to the Federal Bureau of Prisons. And NBC News has learned Epstein's cell was not checked every 30 minutes as required.
I think we're going to find that there was a series of inappropriate procedures followed that were a violation of their own policies.
While the Justice Department and the FBI dig deeper into the correctional center, investigators raided Epstein's private Caribbean island off the coast of St. Thomas. Epstein is accused of trafficking girls as young as 14 for sex.
They're asking for any additional victims who have not yet come forward to continue to come forward.
The victims deserve justice, and they will get it.
Despite Epstein's death, the case against any co-conspirators and possibly his estate continues. Craig Boswell, NBC News, Washington.
Demonstrations are going on for the second day at Hong Kong's international airport, and they are intense. Would you look at that video? You can see the riot police there hitting protesters with batons. Other officers reportedly used pepper spray. Several protesters were arrested and hundreds of flights had to be canceled. Demonstrations in Hong Kong have been going on for months. Protesters are calling on the city's chief executive to resign. They're also demanding greater democratic freedoms. Back here in Oregon, a viewer took this cell phone video of a shark washing up on shore. This is in Pacific City. Staff at the Oregon Coast Aquarium tell us this is a juvenile salmon shark. They often get stranded on the shore this time of year, but experts say not to worry. Salmon sharks typically don't attack people. Maggie Vespa is covering this story for us. She's going to have much more coming up on KGW News at 4 o'clock. Right now, we want to show you a different view, a live picture of Bonneville Dam from our Skycam in the Dalles. Actually, it's pointed out to Mount Hood. Bonneville Dam is right in the picture as well, just out of the view there. But look at all the blue sky. Chris McGinnis is in for Rod Hill right now. And Chris, it feels a lot warmer than it did at this time yesterday. Uh-oh, no microphone. He's turning it on. We believe. Okay, we're going to come back to you as soon as you get all the audio stuff worked out, Chris. No worries. Thank you, sir. We're going to take you up to Seattle for a second, where members of a synagogue say racist flyers were posted outside 3 Jewish temples, all within walking distance of each other. Karen Triger is a member of one of the synagogues. She says someone in her congregation spotted the flyers Sunday. The posters say send them back, with a white supremacy website posted at the bottom. According to the Anti-Defamation League of the Pacific Northwest, more than a dozen of these flyers have been posted outside religious organizations within the last month.
We need to unite together with words of love and kindness instead of words of hate. And it's very upsetting to me as an American to see our country being torn apart by words of and acts of hatred.
The 3 temples have filed reports with Seattle police. They also say they're working to step up security. Now to a follow-up on 2 paramedics attacked on a call this week. They were punched and pepper sprayed by a patient and a stranger. Police are still looking for one suspect who got away. They say the other suspect didn't show up to court. The attack happened Monday morning on North Interstate and Prescott. Police say patient Tracy Lynn Casey punched one of the paramedics while they were loading her onto a gurney. She was arrested and released from jail but failed to appear in court. A judge issued a warrant for her arrest. Police say a stranger pepper sprayed the other paramedic before riding away on a bike. He's still missing. This is actually the 3rd attack on a Portland AMR paramedic in 6 months. This summer, AMR rolled out a new defense tactic training program. All paramedics are learning de-escalation techniques and self-defense.
They want to care for that person in crisis, but then to find themselves in situations where they have to defend themselves to either the patient or the surrounding bystanders while they're trying to do the right thing. It's really hard, and there's a lot of heartache over that.
AMR hopes these incidents will help reinforce sentencing guidelines designed to protect those in emergency medical services.
I pledge to you my support in creating a more equitable and inclusive working environment where all voices are heard, people are valued, and trust is restored.
Portland's new fire chief was officially sworn in yesterday. Sarah Boone is the 2nd woman and the only African American to hold the position. Boone joined the force back in 1995 as the first and only African-American woman in the Bureau. Now, you heard her mention her goal to increase diversity. She also says her top priority is making the job safer for all firefighters. Boone grew up here in Portland and attended Lincoln High School. Well, we are getting a first look at the Trailblazers' new home court. It's kind of a retro design to celebrate the team's 50th anniversary. For now, the court is in place at Memorial Coliseum, where the team will play its first preseason game. That's coming up October 8th against the Nuggets. Memorial Coliseum is where the Blazers played every home game from their first season until 1995. The team and the court will move to Moda Center after the first game.